a great day at 9 a.m. on your Friday Eve. I'm Nicole and also known as Peter Brady. My voice was cracking.
When it's time to change, you've got to rearrange. Yeah, that was a great episode.
Or James Cagney. Remember he tried talking like James Cagney to cover it up?
Oh, I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah, and he was talking very low.
Well, that is incredible.
Like, what are you doing, Peter? He's
Absolutely love that. Well, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. I'm excited for tomorrow, which is Friday.
Yeah, me too.
Not excited for the weather that may come up tomorrow.
Exactly. We'll have more on that coming up in just a bit. But, yeah, it's going to get a little hairy around here tomorrow evening. So we'll keep you posted, but we are expecting some severe storms possibly in the state tomorrow evening. I'll have more on that coming up in just a bit. But
the weather has been great for
we've been
doing yard work.
Before? Oh, you have been doing yard work?
Yeah, well, it was about time that we start doing it.
Were your neighbors out applauding?
Actually, they were. Our neighbors across the street literally came out. They all came out and they're like, wow, you guys are doing your yard work.
Wow.
Something big's happening.
First time since you moved in. Congratulations.
Yeah, right. But it's so nice because Emmy's old enough now where we can just like plop her out in a little playpen outside.
Oh, so exciting.
And she looks up and she loves the trees and the sky.
Yeah,
so she's just in her own world and loves it. And George is entertaining her and being a good big brother. So
that's awesome.
It's fun. It's good to be outside.
Good to be outside.
You, right?
All right, let's get to the headlines, unfortunately. Bad news.
Yeah, these are some unfortunate headlines indeed. In Hartford, if you remember, the mother of a 2-year-old who fell out of an apartment window and died is now facing manslaughter charges. 34-year-old Tabitha Frank was arrested after the boy fell from that 3rd-story window, and he died at the hospital 2 days later. Police say that the toddler was left along with 4 other kids in what officers describe as deplorable conditions. Frank is expected to appear in court this morning. Now, the other children were taken from the apartment by the Department of Children and Families, and we will continue to follow this case and let you know what happens in today's hearing on the Channel 3 app and on air. And additional security is set up outside the courthouse in D.C., where former President Donald Trump will be facing a judge later today.
He will be arraigned on charges related to the attack on the Capitol and what happened after the 2020 election. Trump is facing 4 more felony counts, including conspiracy and obstruction charges. This is his 3rd indictment where he's charged with a crime. These charges accuse the former president and a group of others of knowingly spreading lies about fraud in the 2020 election, as well as organizing fake electors in states he lost. He is expected to plead not guilty.
And an arraignment set for this afternoon.
4 p.m. this afternoon, which is really kind of late.
It is late, but I wonder if they're doing that for a reason.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. But
I don't know.
Yeah,
that's when the news is on.
So
good point, producer Becky.
Good point is right. So, yeah, and his lawyers calls the charges a violation of free speech.
Yep.
So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But he's going to face the judge at 4 p.m.
And, you know, the arraignment timeline back in April, remember the New York case on fraud and the hush money scheme. Then in June, there was the situation with the classified documents case from Mar-a-Lago. So, again, this is the third indictment.
They just keep coming. The hits just keep coming. All right, we're on top of an important consumer alert. 2 different types of birth control pills are being recalled.
Yeah, this is pretty scary.
This is really scary.
It's hard when, you know, people are, you know, possibly planning to avoid pregnancy, and then the stuff that they're taking to avoid it may not actually be working. So both of these pills are a version of the Tydemi brand, and they may not be effective. So the batches were distributed in the U.S. between June 3rd of last year and May 31st of this year, and they tested low for absorbic acid, which may impact the pill's ability to prevent pregnancy. Here's the good news. So far, the company that makes the pills says that it has not received any reports of adverse effects or unexpected pregnancies. Now, it's interesting because, you know, a lot of the fine print on these pills, they do say, you know, 1 to 2% is that slight chance that you could still get pregnant.
Absolutely.
So I guess this is part of that chance.
Exactly. And the company says the people on this pill should keep taking it, but it should also talk to their doctor about alternate birth control plans.
Well, if you have that pill, then definitely contact your doctor and be extra safe.
Extra safe. And speaking of extra safe.
I know. Was that our little early warning weather alert?
That was our early warning weather alert. That just went off. Speaking of, our Doppler's dry for right now. We're expecting a pretty good day of weather today. There are really no weather woes, but Futurecast tomorrow's weather today. It just shows a little bit of cloud coverage, so we'll call it partly sunny during the day today. Maybe a shower to the north and west. Now, this is overnight tonight. Watch as a little system comes in from the north and west. It kind of fizzles as it reaches Connecticut Connecticut through the morning. It's tomorrow afternoon, like around noontime, we see some scattered showers, maybe a pop-up thunderstorm, then a little bit of a lull, and then here comes the front. I mean, you can see how well-defined it is. This is right around 7 p.m. This is right around 10 p.m. So scattered showers and thunderstorms will be rolling through the state, and then it wraps up by about midnight tomorrow night. So for the rest of today, we're talking about temperatures close to 80 degrees inland, 78, 79 along the shoreline, and I'll have your 3-day forecast coming up a little bit later on in the broadcast.
It's so funny because when we were at the beach the other day this week, it felt cold.
Yeah, last night I was at my friend Rob Nevins and his lovely girlfriend's Carol's, and I was chilly.
Yeah, you needed a sweatshirt.
I was like, I need a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
It was chilly.
It's like September, October beach weather. Kind of crazy.
Channel 3 is your back-to-school authority. Budgeting for college is a daunting task for both parents and students alike.
And there are many different ways to pay for your tuition and fees. Consumer reporter Cassidy Williams spoke with a financial advisor about your options for borrowing. Take a look.
Amanda Hayden is about to send off her twin boys to college.
It's a little dramatic for me, but I'm so happy and proud for them.
And a lot has changed since she graduated from Central Connecticut State University.
30 years ago, I think it was $6,000 for me to attend Central, and I had a work study. So that helped pay for the cost, and I didn't come away from school with too many loans.
She says they are doing everything they can to help, but with the cost of tuition today, her sons will most likely walk away with loans.
And we've had to spend a lot of time talking about it.
The earlier that parents talk to kids about this side of it, the financial side, the easier it is when they get to the point where they're actually applying to school.
Bill Levitt is a financial advisor in Connecticut. He says parents and kids should be clear on who is paying for what and how.
Do we borrow money? And if we borrow money, who do we do it from?
The two main types of loans are federal and private. Federal loans don't require a credit check and typically have more generous repayment options, but there can be limits based on the family's income. Private loans work more like traditional loans. Your family's income won't disqualify you. And of course, if the school is cheaper to begin with, you have to borrow less in the first place.
It's not just having your daughter or your son apply for schools. They really need to look at the cost of the schools that they're going to.
That's why both Hayden boys chose in-state schools, and Amanda is helping them plan to graduate in 4 years.
I'm trying to help them figure out, focus on what would be something that you're interested in, but also knowing you don't want to waste a lot of time because that would be money.
Another important thing to know is the difference between subsidized and unsubsidized loans. With a subsidized loan, you won't start accruing interest while you're in school. With an unsubsidized loan, you start accruing interest right away. Cassidy Williams, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Cassidy, another big expense this time of year is school supplies. We're on a mission to help Connecticut's teachers get what they need for their classrooms without having to spend thousands of dollars of their own money.
First grade teacher Jennifer Scully sent us her list, and on it she's looking for some things like glue sticks, pencils, dry erase markers. A lot of dry erase markers.
A lot of dry erase markers, right. We're still accepting wish lists on the Channel 3 app, and we'll feature new lists each day to help our teachers.
And Jennifer's full list, as well as others, are broken down town by town and cities and by school.
A lot of teachers have signed up, so thank you for doing that.
Hundreds.
We need to get our viewers signed up with the teachers so that they can help them out. And dry erasers and a couple of pencils, and it may not sound like a lot, but it does add up for the teachers who have to buy it for like 24 kids.
Yeah, it's true. It really adds up. So if you can help them out, please check that out.
All right, our local foundations need your help to bring one local community together.
How you can race for a goal at the first ever DK Movement Cares 5K, and who will benefit from the money raised.